Hey, everybody, I'm Scott Weichel. You're listening to My Kind of Country on MKOCRadio.com. Always a pleasure to have return guests, especially a gentleman like this. He's a fantastic real country music artist, winning all sorts of fantastic awards for his album Fort Worth to Bakersfield. And he's got a new song, all sorts of great stuff to talk about with us today. It's nice to have him back on the show. This is Steve Griggs. Steve, how are you tonight?
Well, doing well, Scott. I'm glad to be talking to y'all, and I want to say howdy for everybody out there, and really humbled to be on your show.
Well, it's an honor to have you back on.
Show.
Yeah, absolutely. SteveGriggsBand.com is his website. The latest album is called Fort Worth to Bakersfield. And Steve, you won the Academy of Western Artist Album of the Year for that one last year. Congratulations.
Well, thank you very much, Scott. I really appreciate it. And once again, we're humbled by all that stuff, and just overwhelming, really. It's unexpected, that's for sure.
Well, a lot of great awards coming your way. You were nominated for the Outlaw Male Singer from the Ameripolitan Awards, which is fantastic. And you've had a couple magazine features here. You're in the current issue of the UK publication of Country Music People. And January 2018, you were in the Texas Music Magazine, so getting a lot of exposure out there.
Oh yeah, it's just it's hard to comprehend and keep up with it all. That's for sure. So many different magazines. We're in top 40 charts magazine, and just all these magazines. Dallas Voyage, I think it's called Voyage Dallas. They were talking, I had a big story in there about Rising Star and all that kind of stuff, And I don't look at myself like that, but I'm just a working guy out here playing music and having a good time doing it. That's the way I look at it.
Well, it's all well-deserved, and it's, it tells me that not only are people really liking the traditional country music and it's got a big following, but it's also telling me that you got a lot of fans out there who love what you're doing. You are a fantastic performer and songwriter, and you're solid, good music, man. I'll tell you what.
You don't realize how much people, and I guess I'm naive or humble to it or whatever, I don't know, but to me, it's just really amazing how, we have people drive from long distances. Last weekend, we were at a Boot Barn show up there in Oklahoma City, and some folks drove down from Columbia, Missouri. That's about an 8-hour drive. I said, man, give these folks a T-shirt or something. Man, that's a long drive to come down and see me, picking and singing what I normally used to do in the front living room of the house, for free. So, drive 8 hours to come see me, then you deserve to get a T-shirt or something.
That's right. That's awesome. I love that. Well, I know they've been giving you Rising Star awards and things like that, but you've been doing this for a long time. And I had a conversation with David Frizzell recently, and you have done some work with David in the past. Right.
Sure have. David's a great friend, and in fact, we've been talking about doing some things. I'm just dropping this new single, my tribute to the veterans, and we were in a movie, about homeless veterans, and so I did a song about it, and it was used as a title track. So I was really blessed for that, and David is getting ready to start a project to give all of the proceeds of an album to the veterans and the families of veterans. So I think I'm gonna contribute my song to that album, and whatever we can do for the veterans, I'm all for it.
Absolutely. Well, I know that's going to be a stellar project. David shared a little bit of that with me as well, and he's got, of course, a fantastic lineup, as he always does. Anytime he does a project like this, he gets all the very best names, and it's just a stellar release, and he does everything just perfect.
Yeah, he's a stickler for doing it right. That's for sure.
Amen to that. Well, the single is called "Moving Forward," and boy, the title kind of it's kind of a A deep meaning to this very simple title. Tell me a little more about the song.
Well, they asked us to be part of this movie, and they said, well, can you sing a song while we're shooting this movie? I was just going to be like an extra or whatever in the movie there, and like a day before the shoot, they called Elsie, my manager there, and asked her if I could write a song for the movie. So I said, sure. When do y'all need the song? And they said, well, we need it tomorrow. So we got busy that night and wrote this song, and it came out. I'm a believer in God, and I asked for God's help on a lot of things, and so I did, and the thing came out real good, and a lot of people liked it. So we made it the title track for our upcoming album, which we're in the studio now doing it. So it's the movie is about homeless veterans actually, and we were just sitting by a burning barrel there with all these homeless vets in the movie, and it's kind of a double meaning for me because in my past I was in prison for a while, so we're all moving forward in one way or another, I guess, in this lifetime, and the vets are moving forward, and I'm moving forward, and hopefully everybody's staying on the right track.
Absolutely. When is the movie coming out?
Well, I'm not sure. They're doing a deal with trying to do a deal with Netflix right now, and so it's all caught up. The thing's all done, and it's just caught up in the particulars of all them business folks up there.
Oh yeah.
You know how that goes.
Yeah, I know how that goes. Well, Netflix is a great platform for not only for movies, but a lot of musicians. There are a lot of documentaries on there, and I really like Netflix. They do some fantastic original programming and a lot of the good shows. You can find a lot of good music stuff on there too. I really enjoy that.
Oh yeah, it's a great platform.
Absolutely. Well, tell me a little more about your upcoming CD.
Well, it's I wrote all the songs like the other one, and we really kind of stalled out on it because I had all these after the first one came out, and it started getting a lot of attention and all, and I had all these producers from Nashville and California and all over the place asking me to do an album with them, and they was telling me they could do me wonders and all that. Well, I went in the studio in L.A. first, and we did a couple songs, and I could tell that it was going in a direction that's just not me. And then I went down to Nashville, and about the same thing happened. So I just kind of put both of those on hiatus and said, no, I'm going to go back to where I did it before, and because those folks will listen to me there in Fort Worth and do it the way I want to do it, So it's along the same lines, probably more traditional country. The last album, I had some pretty aggressive guitar licks in there, and I think we're going to tone that down just a little bit and be more. It'll sound a lot like what you would think Merle Haggard would put out, and songs about. Let's see, one song is about my mom and dad used to tell a story about when they went to California. They moved from Missouri to California, and this old car they had, it wouldn't climb the hills out there on Highway 66. It wouldn't climb the hills going forward because the low gear was out of it. So they had to turn it around and put it in reverse, go up the hills in reverse, and then get to the top of the hill. They turn it back around and go on about the business. But they did that all the way from Missouri to California, and,
Wow.
and one song is about that, and of course, the moving forward, it'll be on there, and some pretty good songs, some tear jerkers and some funny songs, and I just try to kind of spread it out. I had some time on my hands here a while back and wrote a bunch of songs, so I just kind of get them and update them and see what everybody kind of likes, just test them out because we're playing all the time, so I get to test them out that way. And the songs that people like real well, I put it on the next album.
That's a good litmus
Real
test.
simple.
Yeah, that's a good litmus test. I know. Talking to Merle Haggard, he used to do that with a lot of his new songs. He'd go out on the road and kind of test them out, and if they got good response, they got put on the album. If they didn't, then they got put in the can. So.
Yeah. It's really strange, and sometimes you'll have some people, one crowd will just love one song, and you play it at the next crowd, and they go, we didn't like that.
Yeah, it depends on the mood, I guess.
It's hard. You gotta play them and for a little while, and kind of, like you say, get to take the test on them and see which ones are going to be most liked, and you kind of have a feeling anyway. You can kind of feel it, but sometimes you can. You write a song and you go, man, that ain't much of a song, and everybody loves it. So.
Absolutely. Well, your songwriting style, it's your life put to music, and that's what sets songwriters and musicians apart from the rest. And what I call real country music is about, it's about people, it's about real life experiences, and there's always something, with your songs that people can identify with, whether it's what you meant for them to identify with or not. Maybe that's different. Sometimes people get a different meaning out of a song, but it's a cool thing when it moves a person no matter what.
Yeah, like just like the Moving Forward song is like for my personal life. My Moving Forward is a whole different deal from the Vets Moving Forward.
Sure.
They got to go in and see them psychologists all the time and all that kind of stuff. If they're if they're in that situation or whatever it is, they got to go through what they got to go through. And I have two brothers that are completely disabled from Vietnam. So, I have a soft spot in my heart for that, and I understand what they go through. So they, every day to them is moving forward. Is going from one day to the next and trying to get through it all and try to stay as sane as we can. And for me, it's something else. For somebody else that maybe just lost their job, well, moving forward for them is a whole different meaning. So yeah, I write songs and some people come and tell me, man, I could tell what you meant in that song, and they start telling me, and I'm thinking, no, ain't nothing about what I meant, but if that's what it meant to you, that's great.
Yeah.
And to me, that's when I've succeeded, is when my songs can be adapted to other folks' life. Maybe my life experience adapts to them, and they can either get a smile out of it or, shake their head and remember bad times or whatever it might be.
Absolutely.
That's when I feel good, is when it applies to a lot of different people.
Well, when it brings out that emotion in a person, and I've told people this before, and I guess I'm kind of an oddball, but sometimes when I hear a really sad song, somehow it makes me feel good. I don't know if that really makes any sense or not, but there's something in it that just the passion in it that makes me feel good. I don't know. maybe I got a warped sense. I don't know.
Well, I think we all do in one way or another, Scott. But two is the memories that a song, let's say a David Frizzell song that he did, I'm Gonna Hire a Wino, or one of them, it also brings back memories of what you're doing in that part of your life that means a lot to you. It might bring a smile to your face. He Stopped Loving Her Today, George Jones, huge hit. And, it's completely a sad song, but it certainly brings a smile to some folks' face, including me. I remember what I was doing, back when that song came out, and was pretty good times, So, music is a universal thing that means a lot and means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. So,
amen to that.
It's really good.
And that's what I love about your music. And from a personal standpoint, I want to thank you for the wonderful songs you've written, and I also want to thank you for keeping it real country music because I'll tell you what, you are so suited for that, and I'm so glad that you're able to do the music the way that you want it to be done.
Well, thank you, Scott. I appreciate it, and I'm just going to keep having fun and enjoying it. As long as folks will have me, I'll just keep on picking and singing. If they don't want me, then I'll just do it in the living room, I guess.
There you go. Well, they certainly seem to love what you're doing. And again, folks, it's
Yeah.
SteveGriggsBand.com is the website. You also have a website, Steve Griggs Band on Reverb Nation, which you are the number one band right now on Reverb Nation, which is fantastic. And you've
Yeah,
got,
that's crazy.
oh man, that's awesome. And you've got a couple shows coming up, a big show in Missouri in September, and then you're also going to be appearing on the Penny Gilly show.
Yeah, we filmed that Penny Gilly show, and it's going to be airing here pretty soon on RFD TV.
Fantastic. I believe that's in November, and you can check listings for that. And we'll try to keep an eye on that, and let folks know on our Facebook page when that's going to be aired as well. And Steve, I'm really looking forward to hearing your new music. I'm very my interest is piqued, and I hope that when it's done, you'll take time to come back on the show. I'd love to do a feature on it.
I sure will, Scott. I'll be there.
All right. Well, in the meantime, we're going to play the new song Moving Forward for the folks right now, and SteveGriggsBand.com is the place to get that. Steve, thanks again for taking time to be on My Kind of Country. It's always a pleasure visiting with you.
My pleasure, Scott. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
They tell me that I must keep moving on, living my life through a song. They tell me to forget about the past, forget all those memories that I have. Someday the Lord will come and take me away, take me away from all this pain. Till then I'll keep moving along, moving forward through the words of my songs. Living